morning, top of the 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 morning. Hold on.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in to episode number 34 of the Top of the Morning Show podcast. I am your host, Juangottibusiness. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me this morning. I'm back, okay? All right. We got some topics to talk about. Of course, we're going to talk about the Hall of Fame game yesterday. We're going to talk about Johnathan Taylor, best landing spots for Johnathan Taylor. We got the NFL West rankings. We got the NFL media showing some love to the Washington Commanders. And we obviously got the shout-out segment. And obviously other things that we could potentially talk about if you guys are going to bring it up. So with that out the way, let's get straight into today's opening statements. I want to first make sure that you all can hear me. All right, we're going to go into opening statements after I do a quick sound check of making sure everything is right. No echoes, nothing laggy, nothing, bad is going on with the audio. Got to make sure everything is straight. I don't know how to do that pre-check, honestly, because if I did, I wouldn't have to do it live. But it seems like everything is good. Yep, sounds like everything is good. Now, let's get to opening statements here. All right, first things first. Got to always talk about Juan. I know you haven't done Top of the Morning in 3 weeks. So what's going on, man? All right, okay. This is a thing, right? I be struggling with topics, okay? I be struggling with topics, honestly. And during that time, it was not much to talk about 3 weeks ago. Right, and it just kept feeling like a repeated cycle. But now, since it's the month of August, preseason football is right around the corner. We should have a lot to talk about as far as the whole NFL. And again, like I said, this show is going to be about the whole NFL and potentially sports. This is going to be a Washington Commanders show, and I kind of feel like also that I only get support on this is if it's about the Washington Commanders, and that's kind of what I'm trying to go away from, because I want to, obviously show my versatility, because I can talk about everything. But with that out the way, let's get to NFL Hall of Fame recap, man. Opening statements about that. Football is back, ladies and gentlemen. It is an exciting time, man. Now, I know it's the preseason, right? Nobody cares about the preseason. Nobody cares more specifically about the Hall of Fame game. Damn it, I care, okay? Just because to see live football back on my screen, it's nothing like it. You know what I'm saying? Now, maybe after the first quarter, you could turn it off. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody wants to see the rest of those guys. They're not making the team. All right, okay? But honestly speaking, that first quarter, I was excited, okay? I was excited just to see football back, to hear the NBC broadcast booth, man. It was amazing, okay? Now, I want to talk about what we watched yesterday, okay? You had Kellen Mond versus Zach Wilson to kick things off. Then you had Dorian Thompson-Robinson come back to finish things off after him. Then for DTR to come out there, I like DTR. I was curious to see where he went. I wanted my Washington Commanders to draft him to potentially be a backup behind Sam Howell and Jacoby Brissett, because this year Jacoby Brissett is going to be our backup, and he's going to be a hell of a backup, no question, as far as being a mentor and a mental support for Sam Howell. But we want to have a much better competent backup if in case someone has to play, because if Jacoby Brissett has to play, the season's done, okay? Jacoby Brissett is a really good guy, really nice guy, really smart guy when it comes to playing. Being support, but having to actually play, I don't have no faith in Jacoby Brissett. So I was looking for a backup. You know what I'm saying? I was looking for a backup, and I thought DTR could have been one of those guys. We were interested in him pre-draft process. We talked to DTR, so I definitely thought he was a guy that could have been around for Washington, but he ended up going to the Browns, and honestly, that was another spot where it was like I could definitely see him thriving there as a backup, and you never know, potentially can get some playing time. But honestly, I thought the Browns, maybe Baltimore, because he kind of has a similar play style to Sean Watson and Lamar Jackson, maybe Philly, but I know Philly already has a really good backup. Just a team where they had a versatile dual threat kind of quarterback, and I think him landing in Cleveland was a really, really good pick for them. He came in and he was good, man. He was good. He showed a lot of that versatility that I spoke of. Right? He showed the arm. He showed the dual threat ability with his legs. He did a lot of good things, man. And it was exciting. Again, I don't expect DTR to get much playing time when it comes to the regular season, obviously because of Deshaun Watson, but I think it was a really, really good opportunity for him to show what he can do on a stage like that, because don't let people tell you, man, yeah, they don't care about preseason, they don't care about nothing when it comes to just beginning of football, but they're going to tune in for that Hall of Fame game, at least a little bit of it, and DTR put on the show. How about Zach Wilson? Actually not looking too shabby. He made some plays, had a deep ball down the sideline that was really good. Again, with Zach Wilson, the thing is with him is I think he's in a good situation. I feel like people, when they made the rumors and first started the talk about wanting a veteran quarterback like an Aaron Rodgers or something like that, people just assumed that's the end of the road for Zach Wilson. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought that too for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I thought that too. I thought maybe no more Zach Wilson, at least in New York. But after looking at it, this could potentially be a really, really good opportunity for Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's problem is not his play on the field as far as the talent-wise. Obviously, we know he has the arm strength. He has the leg ability to play in the NFL at the quarterback position. But really, it's the mental aspect that he doesn't get. He's immature. Okay, he doesn't want to take accountability. As we seen last season, he wasn't good. But I think if he could sit behind Aaron Rodgers for maybe the next 2 years or so, and be back in maybe year 4, year 5, ready to take over. Because if you look at Zach Wilson, if we quickly take a look at his age, I want to say he's either 22 or 23 years old. He's a very young guy, 24 tops. If anything, for Zach Wilson, yeah, he's 24. If he has to take over in 3 years, he's 27. And most guys in this draft class would probably already have established themselves. But this is kind of a resurgence to his career. He had two years in his first year season in the NFL. Didn't go as planned. But now he get to sit behind a Hall of Famer, and soak up the things. And I know a lot of people don't like Aaron Rodgers for Aaron Rodgers himself because they feel like he's an arrogant, person, and ego is big as I don't know what. So you could also look at it like, is Zach Wilson the right guy? I mean, is Aaron Rodgers the right guy to be taking notes from? I think so. I think Aaron Rodgers is a guy that has been down that road before, not wanting to mentor younger quarterbacks. At least that's the stereotype. But he knows Zach Wilson isn't no threat to taking his job. He knows when Zach Wilson's ready to take over the job, that means I'm retiring. So that's the thing right there. And I think Zach Wilson can be good, man. It's just mentally, can he fix it? Can he have the mental capability that a good quarterback needs to have? Again, it's not the talent with Zach Wilson. I think it's all there when it comes to talent. It's just can he do it physically, mentally rather, and get it done. Now, with that being said, let's talk about the second part of the Hall of Fame game, and really, which is supposed to be the main like thing for that weekend, and that's the introductory for the new players going into the Hall of Fame. Is the Hall of Fame overrated? That's a question that I want to ask people. Is it not necessarily overrated? Let me rephrase that. Is the Hall of Fame a joke? Is the Hall of Fame a joke? And the reason why I asked that is because every single year, this is pretty much every sport, but I'm talking strictly for football. Every single year, a lot of people disagree with the NFL Hall of Fame class for that year. I don't remember the last class where a lot of fans were, all on one accord. And you're never going to have too many fans on the same page because they feel like their specific favorite player should have been in. I don't know. They don't know how he didn't get in and stuff like that, and how this one player did, and they're going to disagree with that. It's never going to be on one accord. But this year, a lot of fans were upset. And I don't know necessarily the specific reason besides them believing that anybody's just getting in the NFL Hall of Fame. Because when you look at the list for this year, you had guys like DeMarcus Ware get in. You had guys like Rondé Barber, Darrelle Revis, Joe Thomas, Zach Thomas, DeMarcus Ware, Chuck Howlett, the senior committee, and Joe Klecko Sr. and Ken Riley. You look at those guys. Rondé Barber was good. Okay. Again, it's probably a little bit before my time, but I know who Rondé Barber is. Is Rondé Barber a Hall of Famer? I think he's a really, really good football player, a really good cornerback rather. But is he a Hall of Famer? Now, again, that's a little bit before my time, so I'm not gonna say yes or no. But I know there's some people out there that look at that sideways. Rondé Barber, if I'm looking at it correctly, he played from '97 to 2012. It looks like all with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So we know for sure he's a Tampa Bay Buccaneer at heart. He's a Tampa Bay Buccaneer great. But is he a Hall of Famer? 47 interceptions in his career, 4 touchdowns. I don't know if any of these years are all pros or not. Doesn't look like it. But is Rondé Barber a Hall of Famer? That's the first guy that you have to ask. Is he a Hall of Famer? Then you go to the next guy. Darrelle Revis, obviously. Revis Island, baby. One of the best cornerbacks in NFL history. Joe Thomas, obviously one of the best offensive linemen in history. More specifically, left tackle. Then you go to Zach Thomas. Zach Thomas, NFL Hall of Famer. 295 linebacker. Played for the Dolphins. Is he a Hall of Famer? Don't really know much about him. Again, that's probably before my time. So that's probably why. But I don't know. Then you go to the next guy here. The next guy, DeMarcus Ware. Now, I remember DeMarcus Ware vividly for the Dallas Cowboys, okay? And his time there in Denver. Is DeMarcus Ware a Hall of Famer, bro? Let's keep it a buck. All right? Dallas fans, if you're out there, my guy Donnell, man, if you out there, let me know. Is DeMarcus Ware true? And be realistic, okay? Now, don't just because he's a Cowboy, or if you're a Broncos fan, just because he's a Bronco, was a Bronco, be real with me. Man, that's to be real with me. Be real with me. See a Hall of Famer? Now, I remember watching him vividly, okay? DeMarcus Ware was good. I hated DeMarcus Ware because he played for the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? Because he would kill us at times. Right? But is he a Hall of Famer, bro? He had 8 sacks, okay? 8 sacks, 11.5 sacks, 14 sacks. He had a 20 sack season in 2008. 20 sack season. AP Defensive Player of the Year for the second time, because he won it in the year in 2007. Then he won it in 2008 again. And then in 2009, he followed it up with 11 sacks, 15 and a half sacks in 2010, 19 and a half sacks in 2011. Okay? I want to know who won Defensive Player in 2011, because how the heck did DeMarcus Ware not win Defensive Player of the Year in 2011? Who was the 2011 Defensive Player of the Year? They had to be Troy Polamalu or something. Terrell Suggs was the 2011 Defensive Player of the Year. Now, is that the 2011-12 season, or was this the 2010-11 season? Let's go 12. I'm going to go 12, because maybe that's the 2012 season. It was J.J. Watt in 2012. Man, 19 and a half sacks for DeMarcus Ware in 2012. Then he had 11 and a half in 2011. He had 19 and a half. In 2012, he followed it up with 11 and a half sacks. Then he had 6 to close out his final year in Dallas. And then he went to Denver and recorded 10 and a half. Then he recorded 7 and a half following that. And then his last year in NFL, 4. That's just sacks alone, though. Okay, although DeMarcus Ware is a Cowboy and I hate the Cowboys, I think he's a Hall of Famer. I think DeMarcus Ware is a Hall of Famer, bro. And that's just sacks. Okay, we know it's other ways to impact the game as an edge rusher or as an outside linebacker, however you want to look at it. I think that's a crazy amount of sacks. I mean, multiple seasons where he had over 15 sacks. 20 in one, 19.5 in another one. Man, DeMarcus Ware is definitely the Hall of Famer. Even though he's a Cowboy. Okay. Then we go to the next guy. Okay. The next guy that was a inductee was one. Let's see, I had it put up here. Next guy was Don Coryell, head coach, one of the greatest head coaches of all time, the Air Coryell offense, as we come to know and love. Don Coryell, Hall of Famer. Chuck Howley. Now, this is a guy that's, I can tell by his name, he's way before my time. Ken Riley, don't know much about him either. So, more of the story, I can see why a lot of people feel the Hall of Fame is just letting anybody in, because there's some people on this list that people don't think deserves to be there. You know, but there's other guys that are, like a Darrell Reeves, like DeMarcus Ware. You know, I definitely think the NFL Hall of Fame should find a way to increase, like, the odds of getting in or the chances you get in. It just seems pretty easy, right? It just seems like, oh, if we vote you in and you get enough votes, you're good. I feel like it should be another requirement, or take out voting, you know, all by itself. You know, leave it up to, oh, this player has to reach this certain amount of stats or whatever to get in the NFL Hall of Fame. Honestly. Now, let's move on to the next topic here. Johnathan Taylor wants to be out of Indy. Now, who's surprised? I'm not surprised. Because after Jim Irsay's comments, and I'm not going to sit here and say, like, it was just totally off the wall, like he disrespected his family or something like that. But Jim Irsay says a lot of crazy things, okay? he's an owner that loves Twitter. He's one of those owners. And he said something about Jonathan Taylor and the running back position as a whole. And basically he was just saying like, you're not, I don't want to say she's not saying you're not worse, you're not worth the money that you want, but he's kind of just sitting at the situation where it's like, we really don't necessarily, I don't know how to explain what Jim Irsay said. It was weird. But more of the story, it seemed like Jonathan Taylor was not fond of his words. But then now it came out that the Colts are willing to pay Jonathan Taylor. Now that he requested a trade, and that's a situation I would keep my eye on. I would not be surprised if Jonathan Taylor is traded, okay? Because unlike a guy like Dalvin Cook, unlike a guy like Ezekiel Elliott, that Jonathan Taylor doesn't have much tread on his tires. He's only 24 years old. He only has 2 NFL seasons under his belt. So he's a guy with 3 NFL seasons, I should say. He's a guy that could very well get traded and go to a team that could use his services. You know what I'm saying? He has some trade value. I don't know what teams are willing to give up for him though, because he is a running back, and you know the whole running back as a whole is kind of on strike. So it's interesting to keep an eye on Jonathan Taylor. I think there are a couple teams that could use his services. Off the top of my head, who is a team that could use his services? Maybe Chicago. Chicago is a team that could use his services. They have a good team, but they don't really have a back that comes to mind. Then you could go to, let's see, there are a couple of teams out there. I can't think of much off the top of my head, but I know Chicago's a team that could use Jonathan Taylor, and I think he's really good. I don't know what he wants to get paid though. I don't know what he's looking to get paid.
Hey, Rick at that.
But yeah, we'll keep an eye on that Jonathan Taylor thing. Next topic we're going to talk about is the NFL media showing love to the Washington Commanders. Now let me say that again. The NFL media is showing love to the Washington Commanders. What? Am I dreaming? Do I need to splash water on my face and wake up from this dream? That's right. NFL media is showing love to the Washington Commanders. All it took was for Daniel Snyder to sell this team, for people to finally realize that there's 32 NFL teams again. It's not 31. Because I remember there was a point in time where we would literally get skipped over on NFL Network. Like, you watch NFL Network because you think they're going to talk about the whole NFL team and specifically your team. I would watch shows countless times, and they would not once bring up the Washington Redskins, football team, Commanders. Oh, but all of a sudden, now that Dan Snyder is gone, Washington is on everybody's radar, and oh my God, they have this team that's unstoppable, that's amazing, that has all this potential in the world. Terry McLaurin, Chase Young, Emmanuel Forbes, Montez Sweat, Cameron Curl, Jahan Dawson, Curtis Samuel. Like, oh, now we got all this talent. We've been here. We've been building this roster up since Ron Rivera took over. But now that Dan Snyder's gone, okay, it's finally getting brought up. I mean, Kay Adams. Okay, she has a show Up in Adams now that's going crazy. I love it, man. And that's the kind of stuff that I want to do, that she's doing. Obviously, she has a plug, you know, and she's like plugged and she worked at NFL Network, so her stuff is professional, like how that is. That's how I vision my stuff. But anyways, she said she has Chase Young win the Defensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, Defensive Player of the Year, sorry. Now, I don't know if she was just saying that because she was interviewing him and he was right in front of her, but she said she got him winning Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, she was talking highly of Chase Young. The way she's talking of Chase Young, you would think Chase Young is coming off of a 8, 9, 10 sack season and not missing all of last year pretty much due to ACL injury. That's because of Dan Snyder, man. I'm telling you. If Dan Snyder was still here in Washington to this day and the owner, we'll still be getting dragged through the mud. Now, obviously, not everybody's paying us. You know, obviously, everybody's not paying us respect. But most of the guys and most of the girls in the media paying us respect before we even play. Now, could you imagine if Washington go out there and Sam Howell's the guy and we win 11, 12 games on the year? You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm telling you, I'm excited that we're getting love. But I will say I also love the underdog thing, you know? I love being the underdog, or whatever you want to call it. But it don't hurt to show love, and I'm glad that we're getting it. Like, people coming to our training camp to come talk about us. The Pivot Podcast wants to sit down with Terry McClung. People want to interview Sam Howell, want to talk to Johnathan Allen, want to talk to Chase Young, want to interview Cam Curl. The Washington Commanders back up. Okay, we're back up. Obviously, we still got to prove it on the field. Okay, but it's this breath that's just fresh around here, man, that hasn't been in this area for 20 plus years. I am excited and I'm happy that we're getting the respect. Well, not necessarily respect, but getting attention. We're not getting respect because we haven't done anything to get respect, quite frankly, but we're getting love, I should say. Now, before we transition to the NFC West rankings, I want to talk about this boxing match, okay? I made a video on it, but not a lot of people checked it out. Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford. Now, again, I'm a casual boxing fan. I'm just getting into boxing, all right? And I've been loving it, the fights that I have watched. I didn't pick a winner. I never pick a winner. I don't have a favorite fighter. Okay, I don't really, you know what I'm saying? Again, just getting into it. But I heard about this Errol Spence, Bud Crawford fight. Every time I did a stream, people would be like, hey, Juan, who you got? Who you got? I didn't expect that much of a beatdown. Like, that was a total annihilation of Errol Spence. Now, I will say this about Errol Spence. Am I the only one? Am I the only one that said it from the start? I said it. I said he looks off. He looks off. He doesn't look like himself. He looks slow. He looks out of it. He doesn't look in tune. Am I the only one that felt that way? He didn't look like Errol Spence. Now, that doesn't take the fact that Bud Crawford demolished him. Bud Crawford did what he had to do. I mean, it didn't even look like he fought. It was a total beatdown. Bud Crawford literally acted like it was a sparring session. I mean, you do a side by side. Earl Spence looking like his face swollen, looking like he ate something that he shouldn't have ate, and Bud Crawford over here looking like he just now waking up in the morning and regular. It was a good fight for Bud Crawford. You know, a lot of people feel like he's disrespected. He doesn't get the respect as he deserves. You know, a lot of people don't think he gets the respect he deserves. And it was good that he was able to put that on show. You know, that I'm here, that I am the best pound for pound fighter in the world. You know, Earl Spence wants a rematch. Of course, you knew that was coming. He wants to move it up to 154. Now, again, I'm a casual boxing fan, so I don't know how much 7 pounds of a difference would make, but apparently, it makes a big difference for Earl Spence. But if I'm Earl Spence, man, I just take my loss and go on about my day, man. You know, I don't think you want a much heavier Bud Crawford. Like, I would see if this thing was a contest. Okay? I would see if it was a contest and like he put up some type of effort. But he didn't put up no effort. No effort. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I want to see that again. All right. Now, let's transition into the next segment here. Let's do the NFC West rankings, okay? NFC West rankings. Last time I went live here, I did the NFC North. Now it's time for the NFC West. Let's go with the division. Now, if we're talking defense, okay, I think that's the 49ers, okay? I think 1 is 49ers, 2, see, maybe you can go Seattle. You can look at them getting Devin Witherspoon in the draft. Obviously having Tariq. What's my guy's name? Tariq Woolen. But then you look at the rest of that division: Seattle, 49ers, Rams, and the last team. I don't know why I'm blanking on the last team. Rams, Seattle, 49ers, Arizona. That's why. I think you go Seattle, Arizona. Seattle, 49ers, Seattle, LA, and then the Arizona Cardinals. And I quite frankly think that's how the division is going to play out as a whole. I don't think no other team in that division could really touch the 49ers, not even Seattle. I think Seattle could potentially get a wild card spot, but I don't think they're going to compete in the NFC West with the 49ers. So if I'm ranking it, offense, 49ers, second, Seattle, third, Arizona, or third, Seattle. Oh, no, damn. Third. Ooh, it's morning time, y'all. Sorry. Third, yeah. Rams, and then fourth, Arizona. Now, if we go coaching, I'm going again. Now that's a topic to have. You can say Pete Carroll could be one, especially for what he did last year. We can put Pete Carroll. If we put Pete Carroll 1 for coaching over Kyle Shanahan, I wouldn't be mad. I would listen to that. You can even throw Sean McVay in that discussion, but obviously we know Johnathan Gannon's 4. He's a rookie head coach. Don't expect much out of him. But all the other head coaches in that division, I would listen to. If you made a case for Sean McVay being number 1, I would hear the argument. You made a case for Pete Carroll being number 1, I would hear the argument. You make a case for Kyle Shanahan being number 1, I can hear the argument. So here's mine, though. For the simple fact that 49ers have been at the top of that division for the past couple of years lately, and they haven't been able to win a Super Bowl, countless NFC Championship appearances, and a Super Bowl appearance, but was able to cash in a couple years ago. I'm going to go ahead and put Pete Carroll number 1 still. I'm going to put Kyle Shanahan number 2. I'll pick Sean McVay number 3. I still think Sean McVay is one of the best offensive minds in football, but his team around him isn't nearly as good as it used to be. So yeah, I'm going to go him, number 3, and number 4, Johnathan Gannon. So with the offense, defense, coaching, I mean, we could go roster as a whole, but that's pretty much offense, defense. But roster as a whole, I think the 49ers have the most completed roster. Then I think Seattle, and then the Rams, and then Arizona. Poor Arizona, man. They come in last in every situation, but I mean, let's give it up. Quarterback. I mean, is Brock Purdy better than Geno Smith? I would take Brock Purdy over Geno right now. I still think Matthew Stafford, when healthy, is really good. But is he going to be healthy? I'm not sure. So, heading into the season, man, I'm going to go Brock. I'm going to go Stafford, then Geno, and then obviously Cole McCoy / Kyler Murray. But I think Stafford has the potential to still be the best quarterback in his division. The thing is, I don't know if he's going to be healthy. But if we're going off solely pure off health, though, like healthy, we're assuming all 17 game health, I think that Matthew Stafford is the best quarterback in his division. No question. Matt Stafford is the best quarterback in his division. Now, Matt Stafford, Geno, Brock, or Matt Stafford, Brock, then Geno. Yeah. That's how I look at it. Look at the wide receiving core. You got the 49ers with Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, Jawan Jennings still there, I believe. You got there in Seattle, Jackson Smith, Jigba, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. I think they got the best wide receiving core in the division. Seattle. And I think the 49ers coming in. Then I think it's the Rams and then the Cardinals. Okay? That's where I look at it. More of the story, the division is going to come down between Seattle and the 49ers. I think the 49ers are going to run away with that division and hide. Unless Geno Smith doesn't right back. If Geno Smith isn't a one-hit wonder, which I don't know if he is or not yet, we can have a situation where Seattle can sneak up on some teams. Because I'm giving the division to the 49ers. I think they're the best team in that division. But, again, you never know. If Geno Smith is what he was last year and get better defensive help, they could be good. They could, honestly, win that division. But I'm going to go with the 49ers. Okay? Now, with that said, let's get to the shout-out segment and get out of here. Okay? I don't want to overstay my welcome. Over-welcome my stay. Whatever you want to say. However that goes. Let's get to the shout-out segment and we'll get out of here, man. And y'all can enjoy the rest of y'all day. And we got a lot of content coming out today. NFC East record predictions dropping. Where the Cowboys ranking? Where the Commanders ranking? Where the Giants ranking? Where the Eagles ranking? Let's figure it out in today's video. Now, shout-out segment. Let's get it. Bird Downing. What's going on, Bird? How you doing, my guy? Listening to Top of the Morning Show. Episode number 34. Now, again, I should really be on like episode 100 by now, or like 90, or closing on 100. But I just keep taking all these stops just because I want to have countless topics to talk about, and I suck at coming up with topics. But we're back, man. Bird says, absolutely, it's turning into the hall of who we like and okay. Yeah, I can see why some people feel that way. I definitely can see why people are upset why the Hall of Fame is not taken serious anymore. Anybody gets in. Shout out to my guy Bird down there. Super Chef. What's going on, Super Chef? Appreciate you for listening to the top of the morning. Super Chef says, top of the morning, my guy. Top of the morning to you, Super Chef. But he tries, so I give him a C minus. Who we talking about? Are we talking about DeMarcus Ware singing? I didn't even bring that up because I don't even think it was as bad as people made it out to be. I didn't think his singing was as bad as people made it out to be, bro. To be honest with you. So with that being said, yeah, if you guys can still hear me, hopefully you still can hear me. I don't think his singing was that bad. Next we got my guys, Afro Samurai. Appreciate you, Afro Samurai, for listening to the top of the morning show. Afro Samurai says the Panthers. Yeah, I can see Johnathan Taylor going to a team like Carolina. You're definitely right. Help out a young quarterback. That's a good one too. Charles Hardy. Appreciate you for listening to the top of the morning. Charles Hardy says NFC West, 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, Cards. Definitely agree with that, Charles Hardy. As far as coaching, Charles Hardy says NFC West, I'll put Shanny above Curl because Curl should have 2 Super Bowl wins, but he froze Marshawn Lynch out and called a pass instead of running. He will never live that down. Hey, I mean, I don't disagree with that. Like I said, if people want to say Sean McVay is the best head coach in that team, in that division, I wouldn't even butt a head at it. But I'm gonna put Pete Carroll there only because he has Super Bowl ring at number 1. And Sean McVay, I mean, Kyle Shanahan's had countless opportunities and hasn't capitalized yet. So, I'm gonna go ahead and put Kyle Shanahan second. Next we got my guy Charles Hardy. Again, shout out to my guy Charles Hardy. He says, "What do you think about the defensive back? Are we keeping 5 and 5 safeties? Which cornerbacks will get cut if we only keep 5?" Good question. Good question, Charles Hardy. 53-man roster video will come out, at some point. But I think if we run too quickly down through the cornerbacks, obviously Kendall Fuller, obviously Benjamin St. Juste, that's 2. Obviously Manuel Forbes, that's 3. I think Castro Fields has been making some noise. He can potentially make this roster. I like Rashad Wildgoose, man. There's something to Rashad Wildgoose, man. I don't know what it is, but I like the potential with Wildgoose. So that's 4. I think he makes the roster. And I feel like I'm missing a corner. You got the obvious ones: St. Juste, Forbes, Kendall Fuller, Benjamin St. Juste. So Kendall Fuller, Forbes, Benjamin St. Juste. That's the 3 right there. I think Rashad Wildgoose makes this roster. Definitely. Has the potential for Castro Fields to make this roster too. Maybe your boy Troy Ackley gets back on the roster at the quarterback position. I don't know. What those back end of the cornerback depth room looks like at this moment. I think Danny Johnson. Yep, Danny Johnson. This one I forget. We did resign Danny Johnson. My guy DJ. I love Danny Johnson, man. So now that I remember, shout out to my guy Red Wings. Appreciate you for helping me on that one. So Forbes, Fuller, Juice, Danny Johnson, that's 4. If we keep 5, I think that last one I would give it to Wild Goose. I'm telling y'all, it's something to Wild Goose, man. I like something about Wild Goose, bro. So I would keep 5, and then the safeties: Cam Curl, Cam Curl, Forrest, Revo, Percy Butler, and obviously Quan Martin. So I think that's the 5 right there, Charles Hardy. Obviously, you can see Castro Fields making this thing. But I like Wild Goose, man. I really do. Afro Samurai says, mine was Jonathan Taylor. Mine was Jonathan Taylor to the destination. Mine was the Jonathan Taylor destination. What you talking about? About Jonathan Taylor. I thought he said Miami or something like that. I'm not sure. Red Wings 01. Appreciate you for listening to the Top of the Morning Show. Red Wings says, yeah, yo, at 7 a.m. I was like, why is he streaming at this hour? LOL. Yeah, man. I'm so glad I peeped that, because I was setting up the stream for 9, but I didn't know when I made the stream, I clicked start stream. I thought I just clicked like schedule. I clicked schedule stream, right? So when you schedule the stream, you have to change the hour for it to obviously be ahead of time. And I didn't do that. I just clicked start stream instead of changing it to 9 a.m. So when I clicked start stream, it started it live, but me thinking I clicked 9 a.m. I didn't know it was live. So I'm glad I caught that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, I'm live. I'm super early, but yeah, man, that's definitely something that crazy happened this morning. My guy Red Wing says, I would like JT to go to Miami. So yeah, you're the one that said JT to Miami. Okay. JT to Miami, I would definitely like to see that. I wouldn't mind that. They are in a market for running back. I hear Dalvin Cook. So I could definitely see that. Now I don't know what they're willing to give up. Again, what is Jonathan Taylor's trade by? Like, is it a second round? I don't think no team would give up a first, but then again, he's 24 years old. So, like, he's not these ordinary backs in a sense that are much older. And even though 27 isn't much older, in terms of running back years, it is. Red Wing says, I like to keep 6, but that begs the question of where you cut from. Yeah, because then you have to cut maybe safeties. You have to cut one maybe tight end. You know, I think we keep 5, man. Like I said, I think we keep 5. But with that being said, man, as always, me and boy Juan Gotti, this is episode 34 of Top of the Morning Show that you've been watching. What's good, Alante, coming in right at the end. I hope to see you guys Monday morning. I hope I can, figure out some topics. And I really want to get to 10,000 subscribers. That is really my ultimate goal, man. And I'll do whatever it takes to get to 10K, man. I definitely need y'all's support and, things of what I should do to reach that goal. Because at times it does feel like I'm at a standstill. But I know with you guys' support and help, we can eventually reach that goal. So that being said, it's been boy Juan Gotti. Thank you so much for watching. We're on the road to 6,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. See y'all later. I'm out. Peace.
Top of the morning, 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 top of the morning. Hold on.